Hi, welcome to a new video. I'm exploring a new format here for chatting and drawing videos. As someone who loves inviting friends out to go co-work or draw together within cafes, I thought that I would love to be able to do something similar to that with you guys. Do let me know in the comments what you think of this format. Admittedly, I also do feel quite camera shy, and I just felt that putting a drawing process would help with that. I initially planned a different video for this one, but I thought that I wanted to talk about this specific topic while it's still fresh and I'm still feeling a lot of things about it, and that is my struggles with balancing creating art and creating content. It's been a struggle ever since the year started. I also know that I'm not alone in this. I'd love to talk with you about it so that we can share some, thoughts. How exactly do we deal with this? I do have a few talking points why a balance is needed. Let me get ready, and you as well. Get your tablets or paper, whatever medium you want to use, and a drink so that this co-working experience feels more real. If you're new here, I'm Ange. I'm a full-time artist and animator in her 30s from the Philippines. Oh, and I also have a right here, DC latte. There, yeah. She's just gonna chill there. She's probably gonna go up and down depending on her mood. So far, this 2025, it's February 18 as of me recording this, and I've only done, I think, around 6 to 7 drawings. Half of those are commissions. So in terms of personal practice and all that, I've barely done any. And honestly, I've been sad about it, and I can't seem to get back into it as fast as I usually would. There is a bit of a realization that I want to talk about regarding this. Now, a little recap. Usually by December 23 onwards, I already feel the holidays. The holidays have just been different for me. It's just hard to feel celebratory when you're missing very important people in your life. Since my birthday month is January, I usually extend the holiday break all the way to January. When I was finally preparing to get back to work, I think that was around second week of January. That's the moment when I'm suddenly not sure of what I'm doing. And I did try planning, but it didn't help much. I don't know why. Not knowing why the solutions that used to work suddenly don't. And I think that's the scary part. It's the fact that you're already trying so many things one after the other, and the problem is still not solved. Being an artist and being a content creator is taking my attention and confusing me of my real priorities. And it's making me sad because at the very core of it, I'm an artist. Content creation is, for me, a secondary thing. I enjoy it still though, because I do love sharing and getting to know new people. But deep down, I guess I miss that part of me. And it's making me realize that I haven't been that for quite a while now. I don't want to think that content creation is taking that away from me, because if I thought of it that way, then I'd end up hating it, and I don't want to hate it either, because making YouTube videos has revived me in a different way creatively. I will admit it, short form like Instagram, they took away so much of me. So if you follow me on my Instagram or TikTok, you will notice that I barely post much and my reach is whack, which, by the way, I don't really feel much anymore. Like, I don't get affected as much about it because I feel like I got desensitized with the unpredictability of any reach in particular, because I usually post it with not really hoping for anything. It just brings you to that kind of level of indifference because it gets exhausting. If you ask me why I'm even still there or posting, it's because of my community that is still there, that is still interacting or can see me. Those are the ones that I'm reaching out to. They're the ones that are difficult to step away from. Especially as someone who lives all the way in the Philippines, being able to meet so many sweet and amazing and talented people through social media is a really gratifying and inspiring experience. I don't want the algorithm or my frustration with social media to take that away from me. Usually, when I hit the wall when it comes to my internal struggles, that's when I start seeking for guidance. And a great place to find guidance from more experienced artists is from the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. As the largest online learning community, Skillshare has thousands of classes ranging from beginner to expert, covering different topics such as animation, writing, photography, business, and so much more. Classes are taught by industry professionals that can help you take your passion, skills, and dreams to the next level. If you're not sure where to start, Skillshare has that covered with their Learning Path feature to help you navigate through curated classes that are organized from beginner to expert level. We're just starting 2025, and as I overcome my current struggle of balancing art and content creation, I know that I can learn more from professional artists in the same field who have more experience than I do. Which is why I'm taking the classes by Mimi Pernell, an artist I've looked up to since I began doing art full-time. She has 2 classes, one, Plan Your Creative Business, and Long-Term Success for Artists, Grow and Maintain Your Income Streams, which fits my long-term goal. Despite the difficulty I feel of doing art and content creation, I've seen and know that it's possible to find a healthy balance with both in my art journey. Remember that there are ways in finding solutions to a problem, and most of it comes from learning something new. If you're in need of guidance in your own creative journey, don't hesitate and seek to learn from more experienced professionals. Find your solution now by clicking the description below. The first 500 people to use my link will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. Have you heard of other creators say that the kind of content that helps get more, engagement or attention entertains or educates? What I post, I feel that it leans towards more on the educating, since I do like showing my process. And in terms of entertainment, is my artist life entertaining? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty simple, the life that I live as an artist. I did used to create memes in 2022. I created animatic memes, which went viral a lot of times. But that's also the problem when I went viral with a content that wasn't really something I was willing to keep on creating. Like, I made those memes for fun, but my art account is not for meme art. That's just something that I eventually realized after gaining around 100 plus followers on my Instagram, feeling that not all of those actually care much about the education or the process that I put now on my account. A lot of those came from the viral meme reels, and it just made me realize at some point that they're not really gonna engage in anything else. And since I stopped making animatic memes, I don't really think it resonates anymore with those who followed me for that kind of content. That's one of the things that I learned so far when it comes to art content creation. The challenge of making educational or meaningful content, quick, flashy videos, and expecting them to perform better is a recipe for burnout and a recipe for self-doubt as well, which I felt a lot during these past few weeks ever since 2025 started. I suddenly feel that I'm not being who I really want to be, which is an artist. I can understand the, making content, but because I feel like I think about that more than what to draw, there's so many things that I want to draw, I want to create, but then suddenly my mind is like, I can also make a content of this. It's like it's automatic. Like at some point, it feels so unnecessary that you have to include that kind of thought process into making art. Can I just think about making art without thinking about the content that I can create with that art? I know I'm probably like, I sound like I'm ranting, but I feel like I need to get it out as well. And I just know that I'm not the only one who's feeling this kind of frustration, or honestly, I'm just sad. And that sadness is making me frustrated, making me quite angry at myself, which is so unhealthy. You don't want to feel any negative type of emotion when you just want to create. In order for you to figure it out, you also can't be fighting yourself internally, because it's gonna be more difficult to move forward when you have that kind of negative emotion lingering. Hi, Editing Ange here. Another thing that caused me to get confused with being an artist and a content creator is by looking at inspirations from content creators that are from a different niche. I've been looking at amazing, beautifully shot, more on the beauty of filmmaking side when it comes to making content, taking me away from my priority, which is my art. That is their art. It's not my art. And I believe that is what's causing me to get confused about what exactly I'm trying to make with my content. Instead of focusing on a beautiful shot of how I draw, I'm supposed to be focusing on the beauty of what I draw. Because now that I think about it, trying to up the level of my reels by focusing more on the filming side completely takes away my attention from the drawing aspect, which I prefer putting more attention to. Yeah, it's just one of the things that I realized, and I'm also cleaning my inspiration board from those kinds of reels. By the way, there's nothing wrong with inspiring to film better, but if filming better is making me draw less better, then I would prefer to just keep my filming simple. Which means I have to stop overthinking and trying to aspire to be multiple creatives at once, because for me, my priority is art. As much as I do find making content also fulfilling in its own way, I'm more fulfilled to be drawing. Somehow, in some way, I just started getting back to being more attentive with making content rather than what I draw. The process videos that I make, they're all drawing videos or animating videos. And I never really think about, okay, what's the kind of content I can create for this one? I that's like something that I think about for after the fact. Once I've already made it, I'm like, okay, what can I do with this art as a easy to create reel? And now I'm suddenly reverting back to the habit of thinking of content first before art. It's also demotivating me to draw. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because as I continue to realize these thoughts and feelings, it's giving me more insight as to where it's coming from, because that's one of the things that made me struggle to move forward. It's the not knowing, what is this? Like, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling like this? Now in February, I've had the time to think and sort through my, everything. I'm able to understand more what's causing it. This is what was causing it. struggle of being pulled in two directions, and it made me depressed because my mind was too divided. Another thing that I want to talk about, the financial reality of being an artist online. As someone who's been quiet, private since I was little, like I remember I would always open social media accounts because of friends. Like Friendster, I opened Multiply, I think I opened MySpace as well, but there was barely anything there because that was just who I was. I just kept to myself, I was just quiet. I only used it to communicate with others. I was more of a viewer. When it comes to being a full-time artist, the reality is social media is part of marketing. Being a full-time artist is also a business. It can feel more work than it should be. But if you think about it on the other hand as a way to build a community and get to know new people, for me that sort of improves the process. Like it's a similar process, but the purpose is different. You're sharing for the sake of sharing. Of course, it's not like that all the time because you do want to create something that can help you live off of being a full-time artist. Of course, you have these moments wherein you're sharing that, hey, I created something new. Like for example, I recently created a manga brush pack, one that I'm using right now drawing this. And for the rest of the stuff that I create, which is my process videos, those are just some of the things that I love to keep like sharing. A lot of it boils down to balance, which is what I intend to do because I don't want to give up. I have too much of my parents in me to give up. And I'd love to think that I have it in me as well. Another aspect of the financial reality of being an artist online, there is a definite need for multiple streams of income. Me making content is one of those things. It's an additional income stream. I'm sure just like any artist, we would prefer to be making a lot of it more with our art. And we should continue to aim for that. We also need to have resources that can help us supplement the time that we're putting into making art, making products. Others who have like full-time jobs and do art on the side in order to be able to create art or grow themselves into being a full-time artist are some of the options that I highly encourage. It takes a huge amount of discipline in order to juggle those kinds of things. All of us just have to figure out what would best work for us because it's not a one-shoe-fits-all kind of method. In terms of being a content creator, I do admit that I'm a rookie, but I'm so grateful that I've met some content creator friends that are very kind to teach me or guide me along the way. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about, I've been more burned out by trying to juggle these two. I remember getting a lot of commissions wherein I had to extend the lead time, but I never felt burnt out from that. So it definitely also tells me that drawing is what I love to do and I don't mind how long I keep drawing. Social media always has this pressure to post daily or risk just disappearing. It's actually the reason why I stopped chasing it. Till recently when 2025 started, why am I paying too much attention again when it comes to this? But then I realized it's not really the artist side of me, it was the content creator side. Even though as an artist, I didn't mind anymore. I didn't mind that whatever I post, as long as it's the kind of post that I want to share, even if it didn't get much reach. But then lately, I'm just feeling more conscious again. Because if you think about it, as artists, there's already pressure that we put on ourselves. Another thing that I also felt is my skills. I felt so rusty. I still feel rusty to the point that I have been feeling like, how do I draw this again? Like, I need a refresher. I'm literally starting over, like from the head, everything that I learned before. But then, because I didn't do much practice or exercise in drawing, I feel like I have amnesia of it. Us artists already have pressure on our plate just to be consistent with honing our skills or even growing our skills. So to add another creative output, because let's face it, making videos, filming, editing, all those things, it's another creative output. I honestly don't even know how artists, content creators are able to keep up that kind of creative engine running. I'm sure a lot of my fellow artists don't want to be creating content. What we really want to create is our art. We just can't deny that to be a full-time artist in this day and age is to be present online. It can be lonely being a solo artist or creator running everything like a one-man team. I do get a lot of encouragement from friends, but most especially I'm getting it online. And I think that's the reason why, even though at times I do struggle with keeping up with social media and stuff, the inspiring and encouraging words that I receive from all of you in my videos or in my other social media platforms is one of the reasons why I'm even able to keep going. I'm so grateful for that. And it's also what's given me the courage to share all these things, the not so walk in the park life of being an artist. I just want to be as honest as I am with regards to my feelings, because it's actually the best way that I'm able to move forward from these negative thoughts or feelings. That's also the reason why I create art based off of the stuff that I'm feeling at the moment. I try to put it on my art so that I can like get it out of my system. The year has just started. I'm excited to get back to that rhythm of just creating, animating, and just exploring. That's the best part of the journey. It's not perfect, and I know that I'm not the only one who feels that kind of fulfillment when it comes to creating art. And why I'm planning to start streaming again. I won't be as strict with schedules and all that. I'll be more comfortable getting into streaming with just more spontaneous streams, just so that there's really not much pressure. I hope to see you guys there, and I'm so happy that I came back to YouTube and just started sharing more. So thank you so much being there and just, chatting with me through the comments. Also, if I haven't responded yet, don't be surprised if you suddenly receive a reply from me from an old comment, because I tend to do that. I have started feeling better ever since I realized where the source of my struggle came from. The thing about these kinds of videos for me, I don't really want to create them when everything's figured out. I sort of want to create this as well for me, wherein I can see myself eventually figure out how to move forward and overcome it. I hope that in your own journey, in your own struggles, you're also able to find your own solutions. But you can also remember, reach out to people who support you and who can offer advice or even some level of comfort. That's still very important as well, to have a support system. Look who finally joined us! Look, she's just chilling here on her own chair on top of her personal pillow. Now, if you ask me, what's your solution in all this? The truth is, there's really no one kind of solution for it, because it can be pretty subjective, since making content is also like making art. We do have our own style with regards to it. But moving forward, I do want to make my short form content a little more low effort as compared to my long form. And what I mean by low effort is that I'm just gonna create the kind of videos that I'm most comfortable in creating because it's faster for me to get them done. And those include my quick process, quick tips, and the time lapses that I show while I'm drawing. So those kind of content would be something that's more consistent in my account, as well as me sharing the favorite tools that I discover along in my journey and sharing them with you guys. My biggest tip maybe would be better that you don't create a content that you know in the long run you will lose interest in creating. So for me, I created the animatic memes. There's nothing wrong being followed with one type of content that you create, but I think it's just safer that you create content that you're still willing to create from time to time, not necessarily all the time. So for me, I still share my relaxing line art, those kinds of videos that you don't mind going back to and creating new versions of. I think that's the more comfort zone type of content that you can create for yourself. Regardless if it performs well or not, the truth is at this point with regards to social media, there's really no guarantee. Just because that kind of format became viral once, there's really no guarantee it will be like that for the other variations of the same kind of reel that you create in the future. I've learned that like last year, it doesn't really work as consistently as we all hope. The thing about that is I would still create the same kind of content regardless if it reaches a lot of people or if it just reaches few people. So that would be my biggest advice when it comes to juggling between being an artist that also creates content. And that is also an advice that I am directing towards me because I need to remind myself that I can be happy with making those kinds of content because I am way happier making art. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me talk about these kinds of things and my experiences. I hope that in any way it helps you with yours, and do let me know what you think of this talking video format. I do look forward to making more of these and talking about other topics as well. As you may know, I'm still learning as well, but I do love sharing the stuff that I'm learning as I go through my own journey. And now, the only thing left to say is thank you again, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!